What if I told you that Harry Potter's parents weren't just famous, they were ridiculously rich? Forget the old mansion in Godric's Hollow, think bigger. What if their wealth wasn't just about magic, but about hidden legacies, secret business deals, and treasure that could have changed everything? James and Lily Potter were part of an elite circle, and they didn't just inherit their wealth, they built it. But here's the catch. What if some of their fortune was hidden, buried deep in the shadows, waiting for Harry to uncover? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at the Potters the same way again. Ready to unravel the shocking truth? Let's go. Let's kick things off with the core of it all, the Potter family legacy. James Potter didn't just wake up one day in a huge mansion in Godric's Hollow. No, his wealth was rooted in a history of pure wizarding influence that goes back generations. The Potters were an old, respected family in the magical world, but it was James's father, Fleamont Potter, who made the real impact. Fleamont wasn't just any wizard, he was a business genius. He created Sleekeasy's hair potion, a product that revolutionized hair care in the wizarding world. You've probably heard of it, the potion that made every witch and wizard's hair as smooth as silk and as shiny as a mirror. But here's the kicker. Sleekeasy's hair potion was insanely profitable. So profitable, in fact, that it became a household name and brought in a fortune that set the Potter family up for centuries. Think about it. Fleamont's potion was so successful, it practically made the Potter name synonymous with wealth. But it wasn't just the potion. Fleamont was a visionary. He understood that business in the wizarding world wasn't just about spells and potions. It was about influence and innovation, and that's exactly what he did. He built an empire. The wealth from Sleekeasy's hair potion allowed James to inherit a massive fortune which, of course, set the stage for his own life of luxury. This wasn't just a family with a little bit of money. This was a dynasty of wizarding wealth that had the resources to shape the magical world. Now we know that James was far more than just the heir to a fortune. He was a talented wizard, a skilled Quidditch player, and a charismatic leader. But he also inherited his parents' vision, making his wealth work for him. The Potters were well known for their generosity, often funding various wizarding causes, including their significant support for the Order of the Phoenix. This wasn't just about accumulating wealth for themselves, it was about using it to protect the wizarding world. But here's the real question, how much of this wealth came from magic alone? Was it all about James's inheritance? Or was there more to the story than we know? Maybe the Potter legacy wasn't just about Fleamont's potion, but about a long history of magical investments and secret family dealings. Now, while James Potter's wealth came largely from his family's fortune, Lily Evans, Harry's mother, was no stranger to magic herself. Born into a Muggle family, Lily had her own unique kind of power. She wasn't born into the same level of wealth as James, but her talents, they were off the charts. Lily was an exceptionally gifted witch, known for her brilliant mastery of charms and potions. It was her magical abilities that truly made her stand out, even in a world full of talented wizards and witches. But let's be real for a moment. Lily wasn't just magically gifted, she was also incredibly smart, independent, and had a natural elegance that drew people to her. So, when Lily met James Potter, they were the perfect match. Her intelligence and magic blended seamlessly with his charisma and wealth. But Lily wasn't some trophy wife who merely married into money. She was an influential figure in her own right. She came from a family that, though not rich, was very respected in the wizarding community. This background gave Lily her own form of influence and power, even if it wasn't based on the same wealth as James's. Now here's where it gets interesting. Lily Evans, despite not being born into a vault of gold, was a strategic individual. The Evans family had their own connections within the magical world, and it's likely that Lily's magical skills, along with her clever connections, helped her and James rise to the upper echelons of wizarding society. She may not have been born into riches, but her contribution to the family's wealth was significant. She wasn't just adding charm to the household, she was adding value to the entire Potter name. But wait, here's where the real magic comes in. Do you think the Potter's wealth was purely about business, or was there more hidden behind the scenes? Were there deeper, darker forces working to amass this fortune? And what if Lily's family wasn't just connected by magical talent, but by something a little more mysterious? Stick with me, because this is where it gets wild. But before we dig even deeper, stop right there. If you're loving these juicy details about the Potters, you definitely don't want to miss the next part. I'm about to uncover the shocking truth behind the Potter Vault at Gringotts, the family treasures, and the hidden secrets that could have made them richer than we ever imagined. Ready for the big reveal? Do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. You're not going to want to miss what's coming up. Seriously, subscribe before the magic disappears, or else you might find yourself on the wrong end of a howler. Don't risk it, click it and join the most magical community on YouTube. Alright, let's get to the real treasure, the Potter Vault at Gringotts. This vault wasn't just your average wizarding savings account. Oh no, it was legendary. We're talking about a vault that could have held everything from gold to magical artifacts, family heirlooms, and, let's be honest, a few secrets. But the real question is, what exactly was in there? Now, we all know that the Potters were wealthy, but the Potter Vault wasn't just about cash. It was said to be overflowing with treasures, some of which might have been left there for Harry to find later. We never get a full look inside, but just imagine, what if the vault contained rare magical items? Perhaps some ancient artifacts from the Potter family's long history? Items that could have protected Harry? Or even, dare we say it, a stash of wealth that James and Lily secretly kept hidden, just in case things went south. But let's not stop there. Remember, this was the wizarding world's most secure vault, guarded by Gringotts dragons. That's a pretty hefty security system for just a few gold coins, right? The question on every fan's mind, did James Potter stash more than just money in there? Did he leave behind something even more valuable? Something life-changing for Harry to find later? What if the vault wasn't just a fortune in gold, but the key to unlocking even greater secrets about the Potter family? What did they really leave for Harry? And here's where it gets even juicier. Could James have hidden more wealth outside of the vault? What if there were secret investments, properties, or magical objects spread across the wizarding world waiting for Harry to uncover after Voldemort's defeat? But hold on, before we go down any further into the rabbit hole of hidden treasure and family mysteries, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button if you want more shocking revelations about the Potters and their untold secrets. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of this wild ride. Get ready for the next section, because we're about to dive deep into the shocking rumors surrounding the Potter family's wealth. Trust me, it's going to be a game changer. The Potters weren't just known for their wealth, they were also known for their generosity. James and Lily didn't hoard their riches, they used their fortune to make a difference. In fact, they were key supporters of the Order of the Phoenix, pouring their resources into the fight against Voldemort and his Death Eaters. Their generosity extended beyond financial donations. They provided protection, resources, and safe houses for those in need. But their charitable nature wasn't just about throwing money at causes. It was about using their influence and wealth to create lasting change. For example, they helped fund various magical charities and were passionate about ensuring that the wizarding world had the resources it needed to resist the rising darkness. They didn't just want to be rich, they wanted to make the world a better place with their wealth. James was also known for his strong sense of justice. He had a reputation for standing up for those who couldn't stand up for themselves, and it was clear that the Potters' wealth didn't change that. They didn't isolate themselves in their grand house or sit idly by while others suffered. They used their money and influence to help protect the most vulnerable, showing that wealth could be a powerful tool for good. This is where things get even more interesting. If the Potters were so generous with their fortune, did they leave behind any hidden donations? Could they have made contributions to secret causes that Harry himself didn't even know about? What if there were undiscovered vaults, treasures, or magical artifacts that weren't just valuable for their monetary worth, but held incredible magical power? There are theories that James and Lily might have left behind more than just gold. Some speculate they may have hidden magical objects or enchanted relics designed to protect Harry in ways that we haven't even considered. Could these hidden treasures have been meant for Harry to find when he was older, to help him in his battle against Voldemort? Now, let's talk about what Harry inherited. After the tragic deaths of James and Lily, Harry found himself not only orphaned, but also suddenly thrust into the role of heir to the Potter family fortune. But what exactly did that inheritance look like? Was it just a vast sum of gold in a Gringotts vault, or was there more to it? The Potter Vault at Gringotts, as we've discussed, was likely brimming with treasure, but there's something more fascinating about Harry's inheritance. It wasn't just about the gold. Harry inherited connections, legacy, and power. The wealth the Potters amassed wasn't just financial, it came with an influence that spanned the wizarding world. It's likely that James and Lily, knowing the dangers they were facing, made sure that Harry's inheritance wasn't just a fortune, it was protection in the form of family secrets, hidden artifacts, and magical tools that could safeguard him in the future. But what if there was more? What if Harry's inheritance wasn't fully unlocked when he inherited the vault? What if James and Lily left him clues to hidden treasures, artifacts, or even magical knowledge that could help him take down Voldemort? Maybe the vault itself was just the tip of the iceberg. What if there were more hidden caches, encrypted messages, or enchanted objects that only Harry could find? Objects that James, knowing the prophecy, deliberately left behind for him? Remember, James wasn't the kind of wizard to leave things to chance. He was a strategist, and Lily was no different. Together, they likely planned for Harry's future, making sure that if anything happened to them, their son would have not just the means to survive, but the tools to defeat the dark forces that threatened him. But did Harry really understand the full extent of his inheritance? Did he know everything that was in the Potter vault? Or were there family secrets hidden within the vaults of Gringotts and elsewhere, meant to be discovered only at the right time? Did he ever learn of the true extent of the wealth and resources James and Lily left behind? And here's the big question. What if Harry's inheritance wasn't just about material wealth, but about the power that came with being a Potter? He was the last of the bloodline, and that alone could carry immense magical weight. Was his inheritance more than just gold? Was it a legacy of undiscovered power? Before we wrap this up and dive into the final shocking theories, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next section. We're going to explore how the Potter legacy and Harry's hidden inheritance could be the key to more than just money. It could be the key to saving the wizarding world. Now that we've uncovered the wealth, the vaults, and the treasures Harry inherited, let's take a step back and think about the legacy left behind by James and Lily Potter. Because honestly, their legacy wasn't just about the material things, it was about something bigger, something more mysterious. And Harry, as the last living Potter, was the one destined to unlock that power. Here's the thing, James and Lily weren't just regular wizards, they were key figures in the fight against Voldemort, and they knew that the battle would have long-lasting effects. They were smart enough to realize that they couldn't leave Harry with just gold or magic. They had to leave him something far more valuable, the keys to defeating Voldemort. Could there have been magical artifacts that James and Lily didn't reveal to Harry until the right moment? Maybe they left behind clues to the true power hidden in the Potter family bloodline. We know that Harry was the chosen one, but what if there was more to that prophecy than we ever understood? What if James and Lily, in their final moments, left Harry the means to unlock his full potential, not just to survive, but to win? One major theory that circles around the Potter legacy is the idea that the Potters weren't just wealthy in material possessions, but also in ancient knowledge. Could James and Lily have known something about magic that others didn't? Maybe their family was tied to an ancient magical lineage that wasn't fully revealed to Harry. Perhaps there were family heirlooms or hidden spells that Harry would one day need to unlock. Spells that could have been written in an old journal, tucked away in the depths of the Potter vault, or even whispered in the shadows of Godric's Hollow. And then there's the idea that the Potter legacy wasn't just about the treasure, it was about sacrifice. James and Lily gave their lives for Harry, and in doing so, they didn't just leave him a fortune, they left him the very essence of their fight against the dark forces. This sacrifice might have granted Harry something far more powerful than gold, something that Voldemort could never comprehend: the power of love, protection, and destiny. But did Harry ever truly realize how much was at stake? Did he fully grasp the depth of the Potter legacy, the resources, and the unseen power that he had within him? Was the Potter family's wealth a symbol of the greater responsibility Harry carried, one that transcended money? As we wrap this up, it's clear that the Potters were more than just a wealthy family. They were key players in a larger story that shaped the entire wizarding world. Harry's inheritance wasn't just about what was left behind, but about what was waiting to be discovered, a legacy of magic, mystery, and power that no one could have predicted. So there you have it, the fascinating, complex, and mysterious story of the Potters' wealth and legacy. From Fleamont Potter's fortune built on Sleekeasy's hair potion, to the hidden treasures and magical artifacts that James and Lily may have left behind, it's clear that the Potters weren't just wealthy, they were strategic, powerful, and deeply invested in the future of the wizarding world. Their wealth wasn't just about material gain, it was about ensuring that Harry, their son, would be able to rise up against the forces of darkness and fulfill his destiny. But what if there's even more we haven't discovered? What if Harry's inheritance is still waiting to be uncovered? Pieces of the puzzle hidden away, just waiting for the right moment to be revealed. The Potters didn't just leave him gold, they left him the tools to shape the future of the wizarding world. As we continue to dive deeper into the world of Harry Potter, one thing's for sure, the Potter's legacy is far from ordinary. And perhaps the real treasure isn't in the vault at Gringotts, but in the mysteries that surround it, the untold stories of their wealth, their sacrifices, and the hidden magic they left behind. But before you go, think about this. Could there be more secrets out there? Is there more to the Potter family's story than we've been told? If you're still hungry for answers and want to uncover even more shocking truths about the wizarding world, be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. You won't want to miss what comes next. Thanks for watching, and remember, there's always more to the story than what meets the eye.